You are sitting in the silence of your apartment, or perhaps in your car, and you feel a familiar weight pressing against your chest. The day is over, the work is done, but your shoulders are tense, your mind restless, because there is always one more problem, one more challenge you should face alone. You learn to be strong. You learn to carry the world silently on your own. And yet, what once protected you, that armor of relentless self-sufficiency, is now quietly suffocating you. The paradox is simple, but devastating. The strength that protected your fragile inner child has become the prison of your adult life. You may ask yourself, why can't I just let someone help me? And the answer is buried beneath years of invisible lessons, that asking for help meant weakness, that revealing a need meant judgment, that depending on someone else could bring shame. You mastered the art of survival. But in mastering it, you also mastered the art of isolation. The room is quiet, and yet inside, 1,000 voices whisper, you don't need anyone. You can do this alone. And here is the cruel truth. The very belief that once protected you is now silently eroding the parts of you that long for connection. To understand why you resist asking for help, we need to explore the invisible architecture of your psyche. Psychologists call one of these patterns parentification, when a child is forced, directly or subtly, to assume adult responsibilities. You learned early that you could not rely on others to meet your needs. Emotional support was scarce, inconsistent, or conditional, so you became your own caregiver. You developed hypervigilant skills, analyzing every interaction for danger, judgment, and failure. Your nervous system learned, to survive, I must do everything alone. Avoidant attachment permeates this entire narrative. You internalize the unspoken rule that closeness is unsafe, that dependence carries the risk of rejection. Over time, your nervous system adapted, creating a default mode of emotional self-sufficiency. Asking for help became not only uncomfortable, but psychologically inconceivable. The emotional neglect schema intensifies this reality. You learn that your needs, your feelings, were invisible and therefore unreliable. As an adult, this schema constantly whispers, if I show vulnerability, I may not be seen. Better to stay silent, better to endure alone. Metaphorically, imagine a fortress built with the bricks of early responsibility, silent shame, and forced childhood resilience. Each brick represents a moment when you had to be strong too soon, hold back tears, solve problems that were not yours, or mature in order to keep the environment stable. The walls are high because you learned that vulnerability was dangerous. The gates are guarded because trust has already cost too much. Inside, the heart beats quietly, longing for closeness, rest, and support. But the drawbridge remains permanently raised. No one enters, but you do not leave either. The protection works, yet the price is isolation. The cost of this fortress is profound. Every problem solved alone erodes the possibility of trust. Every task completed without asking for help reinforces the narrative. I am alone, I must be enough. An invisible pain accumulates. It is not the loud pain of loss or trauma, but the subtle and silent anguish of sacrificed authenticity. You give, you endure, you perform, but beneath it all, there is a deep and persistent sense of isolation. The philosopher Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." For you, this is literal. The imagined judgment of others, the quiet fear of dependence, limits your life far more than the reality of anyone who might help. You are afraid to expose yourself, afraid of being a burden, afraid that fragility invites abandonment. And so, you mask your needs, trading intimacy for safety, authenticity for acceptance. In moments of silence, even the most ordinary decisions feel heavy. Asking a coworker for clarification, requesting help with a task, or even expressing your emotional struggles becomes a battlefield of internalized shame. And yet, day by day, the tension increases because the survival strategy of your youth is no longer fully adaptable to adult life. In adulthood, These childhood lessons emerge in patterns you may not fully recognize. You may avoid delegating tasks at work, taking on more than is reasonable, because asking for help feels like weakness. Withdraw in relationships, fearing that revealing neediness will push people away. Sabotage opportunities to seek support, believing that independence is a measure of worth. Experience chronic stress and exhaustion, as your nervous system remains in a constant state of high alert after decades of self-reliance. Struggle to regulate your emotions, oscillating between numbness and anxiety, unable to turn to others when the weight becomes unbearable. These behaviors are learned responses to pain and insecurity, not permanent verdicts about who you are. They emerged as forms of protection when you needed to defend yourself emotionally. Observing them with awareness instead of criticism is the first step toward transforming them. Recognizing the fortress you built does not mean tearing it down, but understanding why it was necessary, and realizing that today you can choose to live with more openness rather than only defense. The process of unlearning begins when you realize, I have survived alone. But surviving is not the same as thriving. Healing does not mean abandoning your strength. It means inviting softness without shame. Begin with inner child. Reparenting. Imagine embracing the frightened and self-sufficient child that still lives within you. Speak to him with words he never heard. You are allowed to need. You are allowed to rest. Shadow work reveals the hidden fear and shame that fueled your self-sufficiency. Acknowledge them and allow them to guide, rather than control, your choices. Nervous system regulation matters. Breathing exercises, simple practices of bringing your attention back to the present moment, such as noticing your feet on the ground, the rhythm of your breath, or the sounds around you. And gentle movements communicate to your body that you no longer need to defend yourself all the time, that it is possible to relax and allow yourself to be helped. Choosing softness instead of survival mode is not weakness, it is conscious courage. Carl Jung said, I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. And you, by allowing yourself to be vulnerable and still whole, become more than resilient. You become complete. The fortress remains, but now the gates can open. Asking for help is not weakness. It is proof that you are human, whole, and capable of genuine connection. The goal is not to be fixed, it is to become complete. So start small, reach out. Clearly say what you are feeling and what you need. Accept support. And remember, a complete person does not need to carry the world alone. They simply learn that they can share the weight without losing their strength. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone else who carries the same hidden burden. And follow our videos to further explore the nuances of the psychology of those who hide their pain.